All right, we're doing the Booktube Real Talk tag. This is a tag that was popular a long time ago, but I'm only just now doing it. This is kind of an old tag, so I don't know how interesting it'll be, but I wanted to do a tag because I wanted a more simple video after several longer ones that I've been doing lately. So here we go. Booktube Real Talk. The original creator of the tag will be linked down in the description. Question number 1. What is something nobody told you about Booktube before you started your channel? I mean, nothing, really. I found Booktube, I don't even remember how I found it. I must have just stumbled on it one day. I think I was reading a book and I was confused by something that happened, and I was looking for someone that was talking about it so it could be explained to me. And while I was looking for that, I stumbled on a book review for that book. And I was shocked to find that somebody on YouTube was just talking about books. And so I started watching that person. And then that person, well, it was Kat, Jesse, and Christine. Those were the first 3. They all talked about each other a lot, so I found all 3 of their channels, and I was like, I found Booktube, these 3 people. And I watched them for a long time, and I read all the books they read, and I loved it. And then I realized there's a whole community of people like this. And I say I watched it for a long time, I mean like a week. And when I discovered that Booktube was a thing, I just immediately wanted to be a part of it. I've always been an avid reader, and I've never really had people to talk books with. My whole family reads books now. My dad, my brother, my mom, my sister-in-law, even Corey reads books sometimes, and now I have people to talk to about it, but this is all pretty recent. I've never had people to talk books with, other than maybe a few close friends growing up. But when I realized that this was a place for people to talk about books, I just immediately wanted to be a part of it. And so I made, oh my gosh, my original videos were so bad, you guys. But I didn't care about that, you know? I just huddled up in my husband's office where my bookshelves were, and I sat at the base of my bookshelves and I talked to the camera in a really awkward, squeaky voice. And I made friends, you know, people commented, and I got to talk about books, and I didn't really go in with any kind of expectation to come out of this. I just wanted to talk to people about books. And that's been the purpose of this channel from the start, to just chat about books. And I still get that out of this channel. That's what I've wanted, and that's what I've gotten. And it's been amazing. I think I definitely didn't expect to really grow. I expected to have a pretty small channel forever because, I don't know, I just did. So I was surprised at the growth I eventually got. And I was definitely surprised that it's not really very different having a lot of subscribers and a few subscribers, other than it's more time consuming to manage your channel. You know, I have to set aside more time to answer comments now than I used to. But other than that, it's really not very different to have more subscribers. I still make the videos I want to make. I still enjoy making them. I still love answering comments. I still get out of my channel what I went into my channel for, which is to chat with people about books. So I don't really feel like anything's changed with my channel growing, other than that I have to make sure to invest more time in my channel than I used to have to in order to keep up with comments and private messages that come through Instagram and Twitter and emails. It's more time consuming. That's pretty much the only thing that I didn't anticipate, was that my channel would kind of become a job, but not in a negative sense. Not like I'm required to do it. I feel no obligation to this channel. I could quit tomorrow and I would not feel bad about it. I don't want to quit tomorrow, but I could. But it is something more that I have to actually schedule time for and plan to do, instead of just something that I do because I'm doing it. But I still do it out of the love of it. I'm doing a terrible job already. Question number 2. What is your opinion on the typical Booktube videos, wrap-ups, TBRs, hauls, etc.? This is an interesting question, and I guess I don't really know. I don't know how to answer it. I mean, those typical videos are what I built my channel on, because that's what people were doing, and so it's what I was doing, and it's how people found me. I mean, I had videos that, you know, at the end of every month when everybody was doing wrap-ups, I was doing them too, and so I would show up in people's suggested feed. And I still enjoy I don't like doing hauls, and I'm pretty much done with them. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do any more, because I just don't like doing them. But the typical videos, wrap-ups, TBRs, like my seasonal DNF videos, these videos they're probably my least favorite videos to do, because I don't feel like I'm really investing any creativity in them. Like, for instance, I just put up a fantasy books for beginners video, and Corey was like, oh man, people are going to love that. People get a lot out of that video. And I was like, yeah, that's why I did it, because I know some people will like it, but also I'm not proud of that video. And it's not because it's a bad video, but because it didn't really take any creativity out of me. I didn't do anything unique in that video. I didn't work hard on it. I didn't think hard on it. It was a good video, and I'm glad I did it. It helped people find great books, and that's amazing. People appreciated it a lot, which is why I did it, and I recommended excellent books in that video. So it was good, but that's not really... I guess the videos that don't really take much out of me are the ones that I'm the least excited about. But they're still important. Like, monthly wrap-up videos are still important because I'm giving little mini reviews, concise ideas of what I've read and how I felt about them. But I prefer my videos like the Dear Author series and my Harry Potter deep dive videos. Like, those videos that are unique to me, that belong to me, those are the videos that I enjoy the most because they take planning and investment, and the editing of those videos are a lot more complex, and I'm proud of those videos because they're mine. They belong to me. But the other videos, the ones that I do, like my seasonal DNF videos and books that are coming out in the next season that I'm really excited about, wrap-ups, like these videos, I still want to keep doing it. I still enjoy doing them. They're just not the ones that I'm the most proud of. I guess now that I'm reflecting on this question, it's kind of hinting that it's about like people that think that those typical videos are somehow bad. So I guess I should have started there. I don't think they're bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with those videos. I think that they're great videos to do, and I do still enjoy doing them. It's just that my favorite videos are the ones that are unique to me and that take a lot of planning and thought and a lot of work to make them great. I don't know. I still feel like I'm doing a bad job at answering these. What is an assumption you had about Booktube before you joined? Was it proven to be correct or not? I have no idea. Like I said, I didn't really put any thought into creating my channel. I was just excited that this was an opportunity to talk about books with people, so I don't think I had any expectations. I guess I didn't, like I said, I didn't think that I would really stop. I thought I'd be small forever, and so I wasn't expecting that. And I do have this really embarrassing video that I'm not proud of, that I put up shortly after my initial channel boost, when I put out those first Harry Potter videos, where I went from like 10K to 30K in like a month. It was like a big boost, and I put up this video talking about how hurt I was about some of the comments on those videos, and I wasn't used to people being mean to me, and I was used to such a kind, supportive community, and then I was like getting all these hurtful comments, and talking about how scared I was about the growth because I loved being a small booktuber, and I was afraid that with numbers would come an inability to continue answering my comments or continue keeping up with my subscribers. And man, what a joke. First of all, like I said before, being bigger hasn't changed anything. My channel feels exactly how it felt when I had 10,000 as it does when I have 90,000, whatever I have. The point is that all that's changed is that I have to invest more time into my channel in order to run it the way I want to run it. It's not that big of a deal. And the other thing is, while my feelings were really valid about like being hurt that people were being mean to me online, I also kind of look at that and I just kind of laugh, because one thing that comes with numbers for sure is a lot more negativity. I get a lot of awful comments, and they don't really get under my skin anymore. I just kind of either delete or I'll even just block the user if it's something very sexual and horrible. But I guess I'm not happy that being dehumanized online has become something that I am not affected by. I mean, I'm happy that I'm not as sensitive to those things, but I wish it wasn't something that I had to become desensitized to. Anyway, what was the question? An assumption I made. I assumed that having more subscribers would make my channel less enjoyable to have, and I was wrong, because it feels the same as it used to feel. It all feels the same. It's just more time consuming, which I don't mind because I love doing it. So I love investing my time into this. Question number 4, what's something that you've done that has actually helped you grow your audience? Man, did I pick the wrong tag to do? I don't know. I think if you look at my channel's growth, it started with the initial Harry Potter videos, which the first video that really took off was Harry Potter Unpopular Opinions. And that's another video that I'm not necessarily not proud of that video, but I wish I had put more thought into it. I was just eating lunch. I was eating a sandwich and I was watching a Seamus Gorman video where he did Harry Potter Unpopular Opinions, and it was hilarious. He did a great job with it. And I was laughing my whole way through, and then at the end, I just thought, I have some unpopular opinions. I'll make one of these videos too. And I made it my video was very different from his, but like I was inspired by him. And so I just, on my napkin while I was eating lunch, jotted down some unpopular opinions that popped up in my mind. And then I sat down and I filmed the video real quick. And I didn't think very much about it. And while I think I did fine with the video, I really didn't articulate myself well. I didn't put a lot of effort into explaining myself very well. And I mean, how could I have known? I thought it was a throwaway video. I thought it was a video that people would watch and forget. I can't have known that it would lead to a huge boost in subscribers and bring a lot of new people to my channel. But anyway, that's not the point. Stay on track. So we had that video. And then Daniel came out to visit, and we did a video. It was a video that I had been planning to do for a while. I just wanted to talk about all the fantasy books that I loved, that I regularly talk about on my channel, and categorize them into beginning, intermediate, and advanced, so that if people were interested in any of the books that I was talking about, they could see what category it fell into and could decide if they were ready for that book or not. And then Daniel came to visit, and we wanted to do a couple videos together, and I said, hey, this is a video I was going to film anyway. You want to we'll just both talk about this? And for whatever reason, the YouTube algorithm harassed people with that video and kept suggesting it to them constantly, even if they didn't read fantasy. Let's see. Then my next big boost came from when I started the Harry Potter reread series, and I was doing all these more detailed videos revolving around them. And that's actually, I was craving a Harry Potter reread for a while, and I kept putting it off because I kept telling myself, this isn't good for your channel. You don't need to reread Harry Potter. You've read it several times. Everybody's read it. Everybody knows about it. Read new books to you. Read books that people are excited to hear your opinions on. Don't just reread this series over and over again. And then finally I was just like, you know what? Who cares if this is bad for my channel? This is what I want to read. It's what I'm gonna read. And it ended up being great for my channel. Then we have the Dear Author series. That's also been great for my channel. Again, I didn't think it would be. So the Dear Author series, I just post on the community tab, Dear Authors, and then we have a subject that we talk about, and we all basically come together and I read off everybody's comments and thoughts, and we have a dialogue and a discussion about it. And I thought it was a good idea. And when I sat down to film it, I think I started the video off by saying something like, I don't know how this is gonna go. It probably is gonna be terrible, because I just didn't know how much people would be interested in just an open dialogue about me reading what everybody's thinking. But I came away from that video really excited about it because it ended up being a ton of fun to film, and I felt like we had some really great discussions in it, and I was excited about it. But again, I thought it would just be a video on my channel and nobody would really care as much as I did about it. And it ended up being great for my channel, brought in a bunch of new people. It's turned into a whole series that I love doing, and my subscribers are loving too. So as far as things that I've done right, I don't have an answer other than it seems like the videos that I just feel like doing, not the ones that I expect to do amazing on my channel, but the ones that I just want to do, and so I do them and I have fun doing them, those seem to be the videos that benefit my channel the most. I think for a long time in the beginning of my channel, I was trying to kind of follow fads. I was reading what everybody else was reading. I was saying what everybody else was saying about the same books. And I don't know, I guess I was just trying to be a booktuber. And at some point, I just started making the content that I was excited about, and those videos tend to do well. And I don't know if it's because people notice I'm more excited about those videos, or if it's just because there's something unique. I really don't have any idea. But that's what's helped me grow my audience, is just finding videos that I love doing that are working well. Question number 5, common mistakes you see new booktubers making or ones that you have made. What are some mistakes I've made? I guess it goes back to kind of what I already mentioned. In the beginning of my channel, I was really afraid of saying anything negative because I thought it would make people mad. I saw a lot of the booktubers I followed would do like big long disclaimers if they didn't like a book. Just because I don't like this book doesn't mean that I'm insulting you, and we can all have different opinions and like all that. And it made me think that if I said something negative, people would hate me. And so I just didn't really do that. For a while, even if I didn't really like a book, I would only give it a 3 or a 4 star. I didn't really use my 1 and 2 stars. I didn't really talk negatively about books at all, even if I didn't feel good about the book. I read all the books everybody else was reading, and I said all the same things everybody else was saying about those books because I was just trying to fit in and not have negativity come into my corner of YouTube. But I realized that I wasn't enjoying reviewing books that way, and I didn't like when I would get comments and people would say, I picked this book up on your recommendation, and my response was, oh, I wish you wouldn't do that. I didn't like that people were trusting my opinion on things that I wasn't being fully honest about. So I've actually privated almost all my old videos. I've privated pretty much everything from the first year of my channel because that's when I was doing that more. And because that's not what I want my channel to be. I want my channel to be honesty. And so I've privated all those videos because that's not content I want on my channel. And I do think that it's made a good difference for me since I've started just being, there's a way to be honest about something you didn't enjoy and still be polite about it. And when I found that balance of honesty, unashamed honesty, without belligerent and being belligerent about it, I feel like that helped me gain a lot of trust from my subscribers, and it also made me feel a lot better about the content I was producing. So I think it just in general, probably the biggest mistake I made was just in trying so hard to fit in that I wasn't really being honest about myself. And I think I found a really good balance with that now. I'm really happy with the way my content is these days. I still think there's room for improvement, but I'm a lot more happy with it than I used to be. Question number 6, what are your thoughts on working with publishers and sponsorships? I did pick the wrong. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what my thoughts on that are. I started my channel vehemently saying to myself, not to the camera, that I didn't want to work with publishers and I didn't want to work with sponsors because I saw a bunch of people getting a ton of unsolicited books all the time from publishers, and I didn't want that. I didn't want my shelves to be filled with books that I wasn't actually excited about. I wanted to pick up books that I wanted to pick up, and so I didn't want to work with publishers if I ever got to a point where a publisher would deem me relevant. And I've avoided it until like 2 months ago. That changed when I created my most recent books of the following season that I'm excited about video, and several publishers found that video and then emailed me and said, hey, a couple of the books that you're really excited about, they're in my publishing house. Would you like me to send you some ARCs or some finished copies? And I did. These were books I wanted to read, and I didn't realize that was how working with a publisher was. I thought it just meant they have your address and they chuck books at you, because that's what it looks like from the outside. And there are some publishers that have found me, because I do have my P.O. box in the description of my videos, so there are some publishers that have found me and do that, and I usually don't even include those books in hauls or vlogs or any of that, because I don't want that. And I'll just donate those books to the library. But for the most part, that's not been my experience in the last couple of months of being in a discussion with publishers. Usually they email me and say, here's some books that are coming out soon. Do any of them interest you? And I either say no or I say yes to a couple. And then only the books that I'm really excited about end up coming to me. And I guess I was really surprised. I didn't realize that working with publishers was such a respectful relationship. And I was pleasantly surprised with that. And if this is what working with publishers looks like, especially since I have no obligation to them, I don't have to read the book. I don't have to positively review the book. I don't have to review the book at all if I don't want to. I can give a book 1 star and it doesn't matter. They just send it so the book can get exposure. So me putting it in a vlog or a haul is enough. So the fact that I have no obligation to the books that I get, and the fact that it's such a respectful relationship where I'm not just being sent random books, It's changed my perspective a little bit on it. And then as far as sponsorships, I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about that too. I initially, for a really long time, said I was never going to do sponsorships because I don't think there's anything wrong with sponsorships at all, but I just didn't want to do them because I liked just making the videos I wanted to make and it being between me and my subscribers, and that's the end of that, and not really having to involve anybody else. But then Corey and I got to the point where we were preparing to start the adoption process, and you know, adoption is very expensive and the sponsorships helped. So I decided that I would give it a try, and I started doing sponsorships, and it did help. But then I realized I hated doing them. I would just interrupt my content so that I could talk about somebody else's content, and it was no fun. And so I was going to just stop sponsorships altogether, and then I just started making a joke out of it. I don't know, man. I started doing sponsorships where it was fun. I started doing skits and making ads that made me laugh. And it's so ridiculous, honestly, because between coming up with the ideas, scripting, filming, editing a ridiculous, goofy sponsorship, it's like 2 hours of work versus like 10 minutes of work of talking to the camera and reading my lines. And I get paid the same amount no matter which route I go. So it doesn't make sense for me to go the harder route. But it's the only way that I enjoy doing it because I guess just because it's more creative, so I'm actually proud of it. It's something that makes me laugh, and so it's something I'm proud to show instead of something that is boring and I'm not proud of. So it's the way I've made sponsorships work on my channel. They do help, they do bring in more income, and I appreciate them. And I only work with brands that I believe in. I work with Squarespace, who I have my website through. I work with Skillshare, who I actually use. I get sponsorship emails a lot, and you know, most of them are companies that I don't necessarily know if I can trust, and I'm not gonna mess with that. But the only way that I've found that I enjoy doing them is to make a joke out of them, and I'm honestly surprised I'm allowed to do it. So I guess I should clarify. I don't think there's anything wrong with working with publishers or working with sponsorships as long as you're keeping your integrity intact, right? You're not lying about how you feel about books. You're not lying about a company that you don't believe in. As long as your integrity is intact, I think that it's great to add a little bit of something to your videos in order to make a little bit more money. We all need to eat. It's part of being a human. And if that helps you be able to eat, then good for you. As far as how I feel about it, my feelings on it have evolved, and I still don't really know where I land with sponsorships. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but I'm still trying to decide if I like it. I enjoy doing the goofy ones a lot more than I enjoy doing the just talking to the camera ones. But they are a lot of work, so I'm still kind of trying to decide if they're worth my time. So how do I feel about them? The answer is they're fine. They're fine. Everything's fine. If I'm watching a video and I come across an ad and it's funny, then I'll watch it. And if it's not funny, then I'll just hit the skip button a couple of times. Like, what? Why is that something anybody cares about? All right, final question. Do you think Booktube is dying? What? No, I don't think so. Is it? I didn't even know that was a discussion. Do people think that? They think Booktube's doing fine. End of tag. Okay, well, this was intended to be a quick video, but the questions were a lot more deep than I thought it was. That's stupid. The title is real. Okay, I would love to chat with you guys more about this stuff. Do you have any opinions that are different or similar to mine? I'd love to hear what you guys think about perceptions that you have about Booktube, maybe stuff that makes you hesitate from creating your own channel if you're interested in it. I post videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.